Almost 2 weeks after India conducted the ASAT missile test, the Pentagon has come out in defense of India before powerful U.S. Senate panel, responding to a question from senators on the need for India to carry out that anti-satellite missile test and the debris it generated in the space. The U.S. Strategic Command Commander General John Hyten told members of the powerful Senate Armed Services Committee that India conducted the test as it felt the need to have the capacity to defend itself in space.
The first lesson from the Indian ASAT is just a simple question of why did they do that? And the answer should be simple, I think, to all the committee looking at it, is that they did that because they're concerned about threats to their nation from space. And therefore they feel they have to have a capability to defend themselves in space.
On March 27th, India achieved a historic feat. It shot down its own low-orbit satellite with a ground-to-space missile, making the country a space power. The test made India only the fourth country in the world, after the US, Russia and China, to have the capacity to shoot down a missile. After India's test to shoot down a satellite. After India's test, NASA termed it as a terrible thing, quote-unquote, that the country has shot down one of its satellites, saying it created about 400 pieces of orbital debris, endangering the International Space Station. India had then sought to allay fears of adding to the space debris problem. Just a few days after it conducted those tests, India's Foreign Ministry had assured that the test was in low Earth orbit and that the remnants would decay and fall back to the Earth within weeks. In fact, a day after the test, the United States had said that it has taken note of the debris generated and the assurances that were given out by India while carrying out those tests. A statement issued by the U.S. State Department said the issue of space debris is an important concern for the U.S. government. We took note of the Indian government statements that the test was designed to address the space debris concerns. With that mission, India is now among the world's advanced space powers and is only the fourth country to have that capacity. A quick look now at some other stories that we are tracking for you coming in from across the world, starting first with how South Korean President Moon Jae-in and U.S. President Donald Trump met in Washington. That meeting was aimed at discussing ways to restart the denuclearization process. The meet comes after Trump's second and latest summit with the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un did not end successfully. The Trump-Kim summit ended without a nuclear deal and was seen as an impediment in the U.S.-North Korea dialogue on ridding the North of its nuclear weapons. In a landmark judgment, South Korea's Constitutional Court has ordered that the ban on abortion must end by the year 2020. The court said that under the 1953 ban, abortion was unconstitutional. Women who have abortions, who undergo abortions, can be fined and even jailed, except in cases of rape, incest, or risk to their health. Doctors who perform the procedure can also face prison time. One of the United States' most stringent abortion laws has been signed into, has now come into effect. The new law bans abortions after a detectable heartbeat. The bill outlaws abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected, which doctors say can be as early as 5 weeks into pregnancy. This is before many women know that they are pregnant. The heartbeat bill, as it is being called, is a major victory for the anti-abortion activists. Spain is headed for an election later this month, and the country's Socialist Party has launched its electoral campaign. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez kicked off his campaign promising to raise the minimum wage to 60% of the value of the average wage in Spain. He also vowed to close the gap between men and women at work. 47-year-old Sanchez is a trained economist, called the election after Parliament rejected his 2019 budget. The World Bank Group President David Malpass expressed his willingness to build a constructive relationship with China. He said that in his first press briefing since taking office in Washington, D.C. Malpass said that as the new head of the World Bank Group, he will continue to help developing countries worldwide to achieve better economic growth. The World Bank president stressed on the three major challenges that the global economy is currently facing.